I want to talk to you about Mercury retrograde. If you're into spiritual realm, astrology, even sometimes on the news, they have OMG, Mercury retrogrades coming or Mercury retrogrades here. What does it mean? Do you know? Retrograde is when things go backwards. It goes back in time, so to speak, back in energy. The planet Mercury is a planet that rules communication. So when Mercury hits this retrograde, communication is going to go backwards. So it is not a good time to pick a fight with somebody. If something's been nagging at you, get it out, whether you do with that person, whether you write it down before a Mercury retrograde hits. Mercury retrograde happens 3 to 4 times a year. There's two shadow periods, just like the full moon. Full moon's on a certain day. The energy of that full moon starts about 3 days before and lasts 3 days after. Or Mercury retrograde has that shadow period as well, but it actually starts about 2 weeks before Mercury goes into retrograde and lasts about 2 weeks after Mercury goes into retrograde. So whenever Mercury retrograde goes, or whenever there is a Mercury retrograde, the things you want to avoid is arguments. Not a good time to buy anything major, like big money, like a house, a car. Not a good time to sign any major contracts. Not a good time to pick fights with anybody. Really protect your electronics. It can mess communications, remember? Your computers, your iPads, your phones, your tablets, your TVs. It can really mess with that energy. There's not a lot to do about it except bring in the angels. Archangel Michael is your protector guy. He radiates to the color white for protection. When Mercury retrograde hits, I'm constantly asking Michael to protect all my electronics. If you travel, you should make your plans before Mercury retrograde hits. If you've already got travel plans and they're in place before Mercury retrograde hits, it should go okay with you. However, plan on delays. Especially if Mercury retrograde is during the holidays, the big holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. I like to warn people of this ahead of time so that if you expect the unexpected, for me personally, that usually doesn't happen. If I plan ahead of time for something to happen, then that disaster usually doesn't happen. So just plan ahead of time. If you're meeting people or people are picking you up, tell them, please watch, the weather report, watch the flights, watch everything. Just expect the unexpected. The good side of Mercury retrograde, it helps us go deep inside and reflect on our life. And it helps us to release that negativity. Perhaps you've done something or said something that you wish you hadn't have done. This is a time to go deep inside and reflect on that. Forgive yourself or forgive others that has done something to you. Toss it out. Learn from your mistakes so that when Mercury goes direct, it's like you're off and running. Isn't that fabulous? So it's a good time for reflection, introspection, and it's a good time to really get into your intuitive self and discover what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I hope this helps you. And for more information on this, feel free to read my blog on my website, www.marilynposse.com.